So interesting. Good morning, welcome to Morning Headlines. I'm Lee Chwi Lynn. It is Tuesday, April 15th. And I wanted to kick things off today with a paper that is slightly out of sync with everyone else, but weirdly enough can serve as a primer for what dominate the other front pages. And it is the new Strait Times. They are the only one who've opted to go for a full-page coverage of MH370 and the ongoing search efforts, and with the fact that the Bluefin 21 has been deployed. Now, everyone else has just gone for this as a little sidebar, maybe a little picture, but they're still going for the entire front page. You know, pictures of action. But I want to draw your attention to this little bar over here, these little boxes, because they are actually a pretty good indication of what everyone else is looking at. Not the Friendship Bridge, but PKR waits for past to explain Hudud Bill, as well as states staring at a 5-month dry spell. Those are the other themes that are dominating the front pages, namely water, as well as Islam. Another paper that's out of sync, but that is really much more entertaining, as is their nature, Harian Metro. They've gone with divorce over eye drops, fire, death, and love, respectively. It's quite a major front page with lots of must-read stories if you are into drama, which is of course flavor of the day. Now, moving on to other newspapers that really are dealing with the different crises affecting our nation. So, you know, this is going to be a really fun section. We have The Star going on the story of factories fear rationing, namely looking at how water rationing could affect the cost of factories running. Stories Inside also discuss how consumers associations are concerned that this is going to eventually filter down to us and are saying, please keep costs down. But, you know, water has to come back for that to happen. In case you're unaware, besides a water crisis, we are also facing a meat crisis. Not just a fun word to say, it is a crisis of shortage of beef, which is being dealt with over here. And if you're interested in, you know, a meaty story, they're in the inner pages. I apologize for that, had to happen. And as a lead-in to the next theme of the papers today, continuing water woes, but this time talking about how water in a masjid has dried up. Which brings me neatly to the next major theme of the day when it comes to our papers, namely that of religion. So there's a huge section over here about how Pas Kelantan is continuing to receive pressure not to instate hudud law in the state from DAP and PKR, who've basically said that, yeah, that's not been our position. And in the meantime, a little bar over here talking about how in Brunei, the Sultan has begun the process of instating hudud law. So these two stories on the front page draw a pretty neat comparison between what's happening in Brunei and what has yet to happen in Malaysia. So we'll see. Continuing our look at Islam and the courts is the Malay Mail. They have got a big photo here of midday drama in Kuala Lumpur, which actually has nothing to do with the major headline here, which is that it's time for the courts to talk about conversion issue, according to a minister. And this is, of course, the recent custody battle come kidnapping involving the child of one converted parent, and there's been a bit of a deadlock over this, so it's interesting to see people coming out and actually urging the courts as well as the police to do something about it. And finally, we have The Sun. All right to use Allah, which is a ruling basically that non-Muslims in Selangor can use the word Allah so long as they don't use it to proselytize and, you know, try and convert people over to their religion, whatever that may be. Now, I want to draw attention to the fact that all right here are two separate words. Now, I confess that when I first saw this headline, my pedantic little mind immediately sprang to the conclusion that all right was perhaps a little pun, something about how it's all correct or all have the rights to use Allah. I even went as far as thinking, ooh, symmetry. Of course, a quick Google revealed that I'm just a grammatical ignoramus, because all right is apparently the correct word, and all right, as in what you may be familiar with a single L, is actually just a bastardization. I can say that, right? And that's the word of the day, all right. Not all right with a single L. All you people spelling that, change it. Change it today. All right, and with that, you have been watching Morning Headlines with me, Lee Chwi Lynn, BFM 89.9. Giving you what you want, isn't it? This is what everyone wants!